Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Sasha. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. I hope all is well. No periodic table or alien talk tonight. However, the creator came through with a message. Y'all already know that. All right. I have a message that the creator wanted me to say before we got into the segment, like a little small something. He said that there is no way that you can attribute everything that he's created to a man, because I was asking him, why are people considering themselves God? And he was, first I was asking him, why did people consider themselves God? And then my second question was, is it possible for us to be gods? And he was originally pointing me into the direction of people who were considered gods, right? All across different timelines. And then he said, look at how particular everything is in the universe. It could not have been made by man. We have just the right amount of oxygen in the air. We have just the right amount of nitrogen in the air. We have just the right amount of gas in our body to stay afloat and to be able to survive in this environment. And at first I thought that was his way of saying, okay, time to get back to the periodic table. And it kind of was, but yeah, this is not a dual message, but he wanted me to say that. So yeah, we have a lot of different things that humans are incapable of doing. And we can only attribute it to the creator. I mean, not even like aliens or anything like that. There's a bunch of different things we can get into, but for you to debate me, right? For you to even say, I think what you're saying is wrong, or if you have some sort of proof that you feel, could combat what I'm saying, but please don't bring anything that is not published, not peer-reviewed, and doesn't have a substantial amount of consistency to the story. All right, but moving right along, the message is about traveling mercies, right? We have to start asking for traveling mercies. Now, for the past few, I think, years, everyone has been having this discussion of, these timeline shifts and the upgrade of the world and a new world order and leaving, behind the old and stepping into the new and raising the vibration, right? We've been having this discussion for a long time. And because we are moving into a different timeline, because we've been moving closer to different dimensions in different timelines, we have to start asking for traveling mercies, because we're going to be leaving out of this dimension, out of this timeline a lot more frequently. Of course, we know that when we go to sleep, our spirits leave our flesh. In fact, when you meditate, there is a particular level of your soul that is not here. Also, when you are praying, even when you are fasting, okay, there are portions of you that are in another realm. So you have to start asking for traveling mercies, okay? We're going to start seeing a lot of people have this influx of what appears to be psychosis or some sort of schizophrenia, or even what may look like depression. And it's going to be because they're kind of trapped in other dimensions or on other timelines, okay? People are not asking for their souls to be guided correctly to and fro its destination. So, and of course, if you know, right? We have been having several conversations about, just jumping timelines and all of the frequencies that are connecting us to different dimensions and via our bloodline or the purpose or our birth chart, right? We had that talk. We have multiple conversations, but you're asking for this traveling mercy is a physical, a spiritual, and a mental ordeal. Okay? You have to ask for mercies for all of those three things. Because what's going on is, once you start traveling, of course, the sleep thing is the spiritual aspect, or when you're praying or things like that. But when you start to move around and implant yourself in different timelines, even like astro traveling and things of that nature. And of course, some people, they practice this stuff, right? You have people who don't even know they have the ability to do this stuff yet. But I'm going to just use the astro traveling as an example. If you are a person who has the conscious and physical abilities, right? Because not everyone has a spirit that's completely compatible with their bodies. That's a whole different topic. But if you have a spirit and a vessel that can handle astral traveling, right? You may do it, and it's one of those things where your physical vessel is still in a particular awake motion, and your spirit and your mind is consciously, right? That's the mental aspect and the spiritual aspect colliding now. Those are two different realms. But once you start to activate a gift or some sort of frequency that is like astro traveling, then now you are allowing yourself to possibly get lost between realms. And I'm just using that because, praying and meditating kind of usually has a different intention, okay? Than something like astroplaning, or there's tons of things people can do to travel, all right? But we're just going to keep it surface level. But even when you're asleep, right? When your spirit leaves, your body knows that it's resting. When you're praying and meditating, your body knows that it is not going to be doing certain physical movements. It's sort of in certain positions, especially if you subscribe to certain religions. There are positions that your body will be in, right? When you're fasting, you know that there are certain things that your body won't be consuming, at least for a certain amount of time, right? So this is why the body aspect too needs to be something that we consider when we're asking for these traveling mercies, and that's the physical part of it. I mean, it's a double entendre, right? Because asking for traveling mercies could be you just asking for mercies while you're awake, right? Your waking life, while you're moving about, going wherever it is that you go throughout the day. And then when your body is vulnerable, while you are traveling in these different dimensions and on these different timelines, right? Because someone who is deep in prayer or meditation or sleep, right? Their body is kind of like on lockdown, if you will. I don't really know another term to use right now to kind of like explain what I'm saying, but your body is like in a position that not only makes you vulnerable, but it's gonna do like the most limited things, right? Not even to like protect yourself, but just period. You're taking in less information. Your senses and your body itself, your temperature is not really at its normal peak. all of the stimulation and different sensory input is at a decreased level, right? And your spirit may be just really strong and powerful. But because your body, your physical vessel, is what keeps you grounded in this dimension, you still have to protect it, okay? It's your car. It's your spirit's vehicle for this dimension, this timeline, okay? Because some of us can move backwards to 1800, 1960, move forward to 2075, 2050, right? This requires a lot of different time, okay? This requires a lot of energy. So you have to be able to keep yourself in a state, in a conscious awareness of staying connected to the Creator so you can receive the mercy for traveling, because we are moving at a really, really rapid rate. We all can see it. We all, have been discussing it. I mean, I don't think I'm the only one noticing it. It's not something that we have really went into on the podcast, but it's just like everyday life. Everyone is noticing how fast time is moving, right? That within itself is your spirit traveling, okay? Ask for the mercies to keep you on the correct timeline, to keep you from getting caught in between dimensions, to keep you from being delayed, okay? Because those are a lot of the different spells and tactics that are used against, God's people to prevent them from moving forward. A lot of people are kind of just stuck where they are because their spirit is on another timeline and their mental or their mind is on another timeline. That's really what's going on with a lot of people who we might consider like mentally ill. They are trapped elsewhere. So you have to make sure that you are asking for traveling mercies. Please don't forget. It's going to be very important, especially with all of these different placements that are happening right now, the transitions. Saturn is moving retrograde, so it's gonna bring on like a kind of like a foggy, depressive type of energy, depending on where you have it in your chart, like where it's placed. It's gonna be a lot of karma getting dished out, karma and dharma, all right, but a little bit of both, depending on how your will is set up, what it is that you have invested in over the past at least up to 7 years. So 12 for others, 12 years for others. But the overall gist of this conversation is to make sure that you are aware that your soul is traveling and that the spirits that are connected to your soul is going to be, connected to a bunch of, it's like network cables, right? The source is the Creator, and then you have all of these different fiber optics that are going on. And I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. However you want to utilize the frequency. But, and I'm not encouraging anyone to just go out and do nonsense. But what I am saying is to use this time to get yourself closer to the Creator, closer to your purpose, and closer to all of the things that are going to be blessing you. That would essentially mean that you are moving away from the things that are cursing you, holding you up, and just polluting your energy overall, right? But I'm going to end it here. I do hope y'all are enjoying y'all's weekend. It was a little gloomy today, kind of little, but not really. I hope y'all are drinking your water, eating your fruit and vegetables, and sipping on your own tea because it's free. And I hope y'all are getting that rest. All right. Love y'all.